That is what is very important. If I try to rotate it this way, I get a notification. If I try to do it the other way, I get a notification. I don't know. However, it is not going to stop us from having our class today. Now, if you are new here, what you want to do is to go and get your writing materials, because today's class is about to be transformational. Get your writing materials, get your water, because you are going to be learning a lot. You are going to be doing a lot of, really? I didn't think about it. A lot of revelation. So it is about picking where one spoil go spoil. We hear this a lot. Parents say, I beg you, do all you can. The child where one spoil go spoil. In fact, I saw a post not too long ago. Someone said, oh, the mom was, the dad was not in the picture. Maybe the dad had passed or something. Was not in the picture. It was just the mom and the girl. And at the end of the day, the mom had done everything. She taught, she beat, she yelled, and the girl still came out pregnant. And so the person concluded that picking where one spoil go spoil. And then there is this big trending story that we all know and we all have been following. Ezra, the pig stack guy. I was surprised to learn that he was raised in a Christian home, not just a Christian home. His parents were Deeper Life, not just Deeper Life members, they were actually pastors. The dad was a pastor. If you know Deeper Life, you will know that when it comes to sexual purity, Deeper Life it is the core for every single thing you can talk about. Deeper Life, it is sexual purity. That is the center of their message. That is what they anchor their message on. Deeper Life, when we talk about brothers and sisters not visiting each other, when we talk about people wearing their clothes to the neck region, and Ezra's parents were pastors, Deeper Life pastors. And if you ask me, I have personally not seen a Nigeria case that is as the most pervert, is it pervert I will call it now, Nigeria case when it comes to sexual perversion it's this Ezra. Please, if you are here with me, let me know what my screen is showing, because I've been struggling with this for a while. I don't understand what my phone decided to do today. The screen is going up, it's going down, it's just everywhere. Anyway, it's not going to stop us from our lessons, today's lessons. So back to it. So today, so it's easy for someone to say, Ezra now, he was raised in a Christian home, his parents being pastors, see the way he still turned out, talking about so many things that you make you even wonder his mental state. I learned the word polycall. Is it polycall? Last week when he was trending, a new word where a guy can be dating another girl and the girl is dating another girl. Make it make sense. No, quite frankly, make it make sense. A lot of things. So we are looking at Pikin where one spoil go spoil today, and we are looking at it from Ezra. We are looking at him, not from Ezra per se, but we are looking at a typical child who is raised in a Christian home. What happens at the end of the day? We see this a lot. There's a common saying we say every time that now Pastor Pikin in this spoil pass. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I wrote a post about why you need to take your child to school, and someone reached out to me, why you need to take your child to church, why you need to encourage your teenagers to go to church. And someone reached out to me and said, I beg, we are talking about going to church. Now, Pastor Pikin, the spoil pass. Don't the pastor's children go to church? We know these things. It is what we say every day. So if you are joining me for the first time, my name is Enimi Orebo, and this is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. The Visionary Parents Academy is an academy where parents come together to learn. They get empowered, they get knowledge, they get skills, they get the right information to raise the children who the world will thank them for. We don't want to raise children who the world will say, who raised you? Who are your parents? Then we start looking at their history. No, we don't want that. We don't want to raise children who will be a menace to the society. We want to raise children who the world will say, God bless your mommy, God bless your daddy, God bless your generation. That is our goal in the Visionary Parents Academy, to raise children who the world will thank us for. So if you're joining us for the first time and that is your vision to raise a child who the world will thank you for, the Visionary Parent Academy is certainly a place you want to be. So today's topic, it is Pikin, wein go spoil, pastor's child's edition. Now pastor children, na im dey spoil pass. I will just go straight because I actually spent about 15 minutes background trying to come on. I don't understand what happened today. So I will just go straight and use, because when this Ezra issue came up and I made a couple of posts about it. By the way, if you're not following me on Facebook, this is the best time for you to follow me on Facebook. I guarantee you that my Facebook is a school on its own. Someone saw a comment somewhere and she said, I'm following you because of these comments, and I hope that it will be worth it. And I told her my page, follow me on Facebook, it is a school on its own. Trust me, it's a school on its own, and it's even about to get more schooling for you. So follow me on Facebook. That is where I'm most active. You can also follow me on Instagram. I'm hoping to be active there from next year. Follow me on TikTok. I'm hoping to be active there on next year too. But Facebook is where I am most active. Follow me. Enimia Orebo is my name, and this is brought to you by the Visionary Parent Academy, an academy you certainly want to be. So let's go. Let's talk about pastor children. Now them they spoil pass. We hear these things every single time. So here I'm going to be sharing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be sharing 5 things that happen that make pastors' children spoil pass, and I'm going to be using deeper life as an example. This is not to say that I'm against deeper life. No, I want to set this straight now, because I attend Redeem. I teach teenagers in Redeem Christian Church of God, and if you understand how we operate in Redeem, then you will know that we are kind of close to deeper life. No, we are very close. We are very, very close to deeper life. Okay, so let's go. The very first thing, one of the very first thing I noticed that make pastor children and they spoil pass, it is inconsistency in their teachings. And by inconsistency in their teachings, I want to explain something. You remember when what is it called? Remember when social media, even television and all of that started, and one of the churches that was against it was Deeper Life. No TV. Even when mobile phone came and all of that, they had issues against it. You have a child, your child is in church, your child they are watching, they are learning. Now, these are the things they condemned, they talked about. At the end of the day, they came around and accepted those things. What do you think? How do you think those children would feel? It would be as if, oh, you don't know anything, Seth. You that you want us to follow you, you don't even know anything. Let me give you a practical example. My husband shared a story with me one time when he was still in the university. He said there was a lecturer, he actually studied a course that they had to do a lot of calculation. So there was a lecturer that was teaching them something, and the lecturer just came and was solving the math on the board, and so one of the students told the lecturer that particular question, the particular solution the teacher was giving was not very correct, and he said the lecturer just went and wiped the board and started all over again. The student told him, oh, you are still getting it wrong, and the lecturer wiped the board and started all over again. I think at that point, I don't remember what happened at that point now. Now, this lecturer did not even bother to ask the student, oh, where is the error coming from, so that he will fix it. But he didn't ask, he just went ahead to fix it. That day, all of them, the students, they just started, when they say, that was how the man's credibility just crash landed. The respect they had for the man, that day they began to question it. Now, this is what happens a great deal. When your church is not consistent, you say one thing, you do another thing. Something happens, you give excuse for it. It happens in very many churches. It happens in very many homes. It happens in very many homes. You don't have a solid value system. You condemn something, and in one area you condemn something, in another area you accept that same thing. Children are watching you. They are learning. You are not convincing them. You are not reaching their heart because you are not consistent. For you to be able to win your child, whether you be pastor, Pikin, and you be pastor, you know and make your child spoil pass. For you to be able to get your child, I tell you, you need to be consistent. It is why your word should be yea and amen. Like, you should be faithful with your words. You never go back on your words. And now this is something that is very difficult for very many parents. You know why? Because we are driven by emotions. We don't pause to think what is happening. We are just driven by emotions. Now, when you are driven by emotions, when you don't sit to pause, to reflect, when you don't do that, you are going to make random and spontaneous choices, decisions, and you are going to come back, because when you now realize, or when someone with a superior idea, opinion, or anything comes with their idea, you are now going to sit back and say, oh, this actually makes sense. Oh, it's not the way I thought about it. Oh, it's not as it seems. You are going to come back, and by the time you come back, your child may have already formed an impression about you, and that impression is gone. Now, this is why we cannot talk about you parenting with a vision without talking about you being emotionally intelligent. These two, if you don't talk about you being emotionally intelligent, you cannot parent with a vision. It is what it is. So you get it? Inconsistency in your patterns, inconsistency in your values, inconsistency in your choices. You have a shop, for example, you condemn stealing. Oh, Yahoo is not good. Yahoo is not good. You have people who actually buy things, who everybody knows that, oh, these boys, they're Yahoo boys. Then they bring the money, you sell for them. You will prioritize them. You attend to them because they have the big money. You are not consistent. What you are saying is not consistent with what you do. You see, you tell your daughters, see, you cover up properly. You tell them how to cover up. You tell your boys don't sag. Then you see people who actually do like that. They come around you and you even compliment them. Don't compliment them to win them. Even if you are complimenting them to win them so that you can actually reach their heart, your kids need to know that is not the case. Sometimes you compliment them because you are not bold enough to tell them the truth. You are not consistent. And I tell you not being consistent, inconsistency can actually make your child not believe you. They are not trusting you. They don't, what is it called? You are not reaching their heart. You are not convincing them. So number one reason when a pastor picking the spoil pass is inconsistency. I was having this discussion with a visionary parent the other day, and she was telling me, oh, she also grew up in a deeper life household. They would go for program. I think it's camp or something. She didn't explain that part, but I think they will go for program maybe for a couple of days or one day, something like retreat or something. That they will have a special cook that will come and cook for the pastor. You see the pastor's food, well garnished, everything put together. Then you come and see the members' food. There will be food that you will not even be able to eat. So well, not presentable, everything, just watery and all of that. But pastor's food, oh my God. And this same pastor, you will come to the altar and you will preach the rich man and Lazarus. You will preach it. You will preach how we are supposed to be equal before God. You will preach how you are supposed to be humble. So what you can see that it is not consistent. What you are saying does not tally with what the people are saying. Inconsistency. You are not able to say something and hold it on. 1 minute you say you condemn a particular thing. You say, oh, if you don't wear trousers. Another minute, trousers is acceptable. Someone was saying something that a particular pastor and some members, they traveled abroad to a particular region. It's a church that condemns trousers and all of that. So they traveled, and when they got to where they traveled to, even the ministers that came to welcome them at the airport, they were all dressed in trousers, the women. And so one of them now asked the pastor, if trousers is a sin, so why are our ministers boldly wearing trousers in this particular country, And then the pastor answered them that because it's a cold region. So I don't know how the conversation went further. Children are watching. Does it mean because it's a cold region? Sin is sin. Sin is supposed to be sin. So does it mean because it's a cold region, I can sin? I will be forgiven if I sin? Not consistent. What you are saying is not consistent. No universal language when it comes to certain things, values. The children are watching. You are sowing seed of doubt in them. When things happen there, they see the one that is here. You are condemning them here. You are not condemning others. Seed of doubt. They are watching. They are learning. They are evaluating everything that is going on. Please, if you are with us, what you can do, if you are joining me, I can't seem to see anybody. I don't know what is really happening. Somehow I feel my face I'm even bent the other way. I don't know, because I keep seeing orientation is locked. Rotate device back. This was why I struggled. This was why we started late. I set up normally before time, and when I click live, I got orientation I got this orientation is locked. I followed the instruction, the same thing. All the ways I went about it, the same thing. So I didn't know what to do. So I just Kukuma started again. If you notice, I think I started twice before I joined. So I just Kukuma started again. Thank you so much for joining me. Please copy the link and share. Share in the group, share in the free groups, and share in the paid group. Let them know, because I actually shared the first time I started, I shared the link, but it didn't work. That was one of the link I had to exit, because I don't know if it's my phone or my network setup. I don't know. I'll get it fixed. Okay, apologies about that. Okay, let's go on. That is the first thing. We are not consistent. Now, we are not just talking about, now Pastor Pikin the spoil pastor. I'm also talking to you, everyday parent. You are not a pastor. You are not an imam. You are just a parent like me. Everyday parent, I'm talking to you. So if you are not consistent in your parenting values, you are not consistent. Today, you say, do not lie. Lying is not good. Tomorrow, you give an excuse for lying. You are not consistent. You are not reaching the heart of the child. You are not convincing the child. And as long as you are not convincing your child, as long as you are not being consistent, you are not reaching the heart of your child. That is it. Today you say something is acceptable. Tomorrow you say something is not acceptable. You just like someone will say a fair weather friend. And anywhere when the weather good, now they go. You are not being consistent. And I tell you, it is already a block, a sabotage. It's already detrimental to you reaching the heart of your child. Number one. So if you are just joining, please, you need to go back. When you finish this video, go back, because I've shared very important information. Number two is this one. People do not realize it. Let me explain to you the way that. Because when I explain things like this, sometimes people wonder, are you sure you are a Christian? Are you a Christian? And I'll tell them, I go for to tell them, I'm not just a Christian. I teach teenagers in my church. And you need to see when I'm teaching teenagers, even the adults around me, they take lessons. Because we all take lessons from each other, though. I take lessons from when other people are teaching. I teach. I'm a passionate, skillful teacher. So leave that question. Are you sure you are a Christian? When I talk about certain things, one other thing you do when you talk about Pastor Pikin and the spoil passes, for very many parents, you spend too much time in church. Let me give you an example. You have, for example, I attend Redeem. I know how many services we have. We have 3 services, 4. We have Digging Deep, we have Faith Clinic, then we have the one we hold on Wednesdays mornings, Then if it's at the beginning of the month, you have a couple of services too. Then we have all night. One Friday like that, we have all night. And remember, we have every week service, every normal Sunday service. And every Sunday service, we, like a teacher in church or a worker, we stay for up to 6:45 to 12. That's how many hours. Okay, then most times we have meetings after that. As a children's teacher, I also go for meetings. Putting it all together, I also go for meetings. Now, if you're a chorister, you also go for choir practice all of the time. So at the end of the day, going to church every day, what time would you have to actually build a relationship with your child? Let me tell you something. You may actually be thinking you are building a relationship with your child. You may actually be thinking it doesn't matter. You are taking your child to church. No. Because you will not have that time. Even you are tired, you are stressed. And apart from you being tired and stressed, let me share this example with you. Prior to now that we are evolving, a lot of women are, should I do what, having more sense? Before now, if your husband has a side chick, the average woman will confront the side chick. They will call the side chick and start fighting the side chick. Why do you think so? Because they think the side chick is taking their husband away from them. So they believe that if the side chick is out of the picture, the husband will come back home, right? So they don't like the side chick. They don't want to see the side chick. They don't want to hear from the side chick. They just want the side chick to be out of the way. The same happens when quality time you are supposed to spend with your child. Every single one of it is in church. So church is taking your time. It's actually for pastors, for example. You're always going to church. You are visiting members. You are performing functions. A lot of that. There is no time for your child. There's no time for your... Okay, I'm live again. All right. So your child feels that, you see, like you feel that your husband's side chick is the one that is taking your husband's attention. So you don't like the side chick. So your child feels, oh, church is taking my parents, my daddy's attention, my mommy's attention. At the end of the day, they do not like the church. Does it make sense to you? I'm trying to explain in such a manner that you will understand. They don't like church. So if they don't like church, anything the church represents, they don't like it. So they just be in church, go to church, just because as a parent, you are, as a parent, they are in that stage where they have to obey you. They are dependent on you, so they obey you. That reason, they go to church, they do all of that. But once they are independent, away from you, church becomes an enemy. Why? Church took the best of you, took time away from you, and because they never liked it in the first place, so there is no way they will listen except the grace of God, except God answers your prayers over their life. Now, if God is to leave them to just live their life like that, I tell you something for free, you will end up having children who will not like church, who will spoil past, who will, actually, if you now have ones that are rebellious, they will do everything that the church has preached against. Everything that you as a parent, you have stood up to say, no, it shouldn't be done. That is what they will do. You know why? Because church stole their love. Activities stole their love. And they may even feel God stole their love. God took their love away. Because children, I have never seen a child who doesn't adore, love, want time with the parents. They always want the parents, no matter what. So that is it. So as a Christian mom, as a Christian dad, you need to balance it. Now, if you are not even a pastor, look at it in other ways. The same way happens, when you are sold out to your work, it's about work, it's about any other thing that makes you not have time for your child. I tell you, you will not be able to connect with your child. You will not be able to reach your child. In fact, at the end of the day, you are going to give your child your remnants, your crumbs, because you will spend the the good part of you, you will spend that good part of you pursuing other things, and your child will now come as second. Your child will not like it. That is one of the reasons pastor children now they spoil pass. Another one is no modeling. Hi, this one is almost like inconsistency, but it's not. Modeling. Okay, it's not like inconsistency in any way, just that I use some of the examples in modeling. What? Very many times we don't model. Pastors and elders in the church, they don't model to children what they don't model to children healthy lifestyles. They don't. They live randomly. See, the other day I made a post about on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, if you're not following me on Facebook, you need to follow me. I said something that once you have a child, you need to go and reborn yourself. Go through a rebirth. You can't afford to be random with your child. You can't afford to be random around your child. You have a child. I actually give an example of two teenagers I know. They used to be very close, good friends. Suddenly, I wasn't seeing them together. When I asked one, she said, oh, did she complain that she's always insulting? She says, shut up, get out. And she says them playfully, just like normal play with your friends. You are saying, shut up, get out. So what is the big deal? That person is offended. And this particular teenager, that's how she operates. That's how their family operates. They throw careless words about, shut up, get out, big fool. Their parents, even her mom, when the mom's friends come, you know, the mom is a grandma, yet that's the same thing they do. You know, shut up, get out, and all of that. And so this particular teenager feels it's okay. And she has good taste. She goes for good friends, reasonable people. And at the end of the day, these friends that she's going for, these reasonable people, they don't like such things. So as a parent, nah. So once you have a child, know that your life does not belong to you alone. Your life is not for you alone. So you have to reborn yourself. So modeling in churches, very many times in families, we don't model what we preach to our children. I see one of the things I can never wrap my head around when it comes to Christian parents is lying. Do we actually think lying is not a sin? I don't understand. Or is it that we do not understand what lying means? Jeez. In Christian parents, we don't understand what lying means. Or we think lying is not a sin. I don't ever understand it. You know, you see, all those kind of small lies. You think, oh, it's small lies. You can do something and you will deny it. Even your child, you can tell someone, oh, my child was not here when your child was there. Your child is watching, they are knowing. I mean, if you say, oh, we are going to church, we are in church, and sinners go to hellfire, and lying is a sin, and then you as their parents, you are lying, what are you teaching your child? It simply means that, well, hellfire is not a big deal. Even if I go to hellfire, it doesn't matter. Or you are saying something like, there's nothing like hellfire after all. Because that is it. So if you are telling them, okay, don't lie, God despises it, it's not a good thing for you to lie, and at the end of the day, you are lying. And you want them not to lie because of God. You that is telling them don't lie because of God, you are lying. Make it make sense. I mean, make it make sense. Are you not subject to God? Are you not too under God? So we are not modeling what we actually preach. So because we are not modeling what we actually preach, we are not reaching the heart of the child. So as a parent, what you want to do is to model what you preach. I shared on Facebook one time, I said, which is the most difficult part of parenting? Being consistent, being patient, or modeling. Many people were talking about being consistent. I say, for me, it's modeling. Because I believe that the littlest of thing you have to model. Oh yes, every single thing you have to model. For example, my kids, keep your room tidy all the time. So I have to keep my room tidy. I tell them something that once you take your clothes from the laundry line, fold them and take them straight to your wardrobe. Very many times I am literally tired, but because it's something I have taught them, I'll have to do it right away. If it means dragging myself to do it, I'll drag myself to do it. Because it is what I preach. Modeling. We have to model what we preach, no matter how little it is, you know. We have to model. If you cannot model it as a parent, know that it is not realistic. Now, if it's actually important, then know that you are not stretching yourself enough. You are not stretching yourself. You are not doing the hard work. If you cannot model it, it is not realistic. Now, if you think, okay, it is important that this thing is done, and it is hard for you to model, then you will know that you are not stretching yourself enough. Life is hard work. When we talk about hard work, we don't mean, oh, carry, and they will call it pong pong. I don't know if it's pong pong they call it. Carry her pan, put sand or put bricks and all of that. That is not what makes life hard work. When we say life is hard work, it simply means that you have to do the difficult things. You have to stretch yourself. The other day I was teaching my children what life hard work. We are watching a program on Saturday, and my daughter was saying, "Mommy, this show is boring." I said, "That is why it's hard work, because this show is what we actually stretch you with, is what will fill you with wisdom, right? This show is what we learn from compared to the other ones you are watching. The other ones will also teach you, but this will give you more advantage than the other ones. So now the hard work here is, it is boring. You are sitting through it. You are sitting through it. You are not enjoying it, but you sit through it. That is hard work. If it comes easy, if it comes fun, if it comes popular, it is not hard work. Hard work requires you to stretch yourself. Anytime you have to stretch yourself, just know that you are working hard. And luckily for us, we now know how to combine hard work with smart work. So it simply means that you are going to find a way to stretch yourself, get it done quickly, effectively, and not break yourself. That is the smart work. So you can say for this program we are watching, to make it a smart work, I will not just sit down and watch it for 30 minutes. I can just watch 5 minutes, watch something fun, 5 minutes, watch something fun, 5 minutes, watch something fun. That becomes smart work. So as a parent, I tell you something. If you cannot model it, then it is not realistic. Now, if you say, oh, it is realistic, it simply means it is realistic. It is a core value. Just that it is too much. It simply means one thing. You are not stretching yourself. You are not modeling hard work to your children. You are not stretching yourself. So modeling is one of the major issues we have in parenting, when we are not able to reach the heart of our children. Because when you are able to reach the heart of your child, I tell you, you are going to be able to influence your child. When you are able to reach the heart of your child, you can influence your child. When you're able to reach the heart of your child can stay on course. When I was in university, I read a book, Nurture's Assumption, by Judith Harris. I think I still have the book. Maybe we'll read it in the Visionary Parent Academy next year. They will now debate on it, because it's a very controversial book. It actually believes that parents are not able to influence their children much, as we say. It is the society that actually influences the children. Their friends play a key role in how your child will turn out. The society generally plays more role than the parent. That is what Nurture's Assumption by Judith Harris is all about. For a long time I looked for the hard copy. I never got the hard copy. Anytime I get the hard copy, I'm still going to buy it. But the truth of the matter is, the society actually has a great role. Friends have a major role. After all, the Bible says evil communication corrupts good manners. But guess what? At the end of the day, it is why parents in the Visionary Parent Academy, there is something we do. When at the end of the day, you're actually going to go over the day with your child. You understand how their day went. You understand what influence their friends are trying to bring in. You understand what is society, what seed the society was already planting. Then as a parent, you cannot come in. It is when, as a parent, you are relaxed. That is when the friends influence, societal influence, they come in. And when we talk about being relaxed, we are not just talking about, asking and catching up. You ask, you catch up, you create an environment in your home, an environment that will allow the things, your values, you allow your values to blossom, allow them to flourish. So I was talking about modeling. One of the things we do as parents is we do not model. What we preach, we cannot even follow it. We can't go through with it. Now, if you cannot go through what you preach, how do you not convince your child that what you preach is actually doable? What you preach is actually the right path? Because if you say the right path, why are you not taking it? Why are you not doing it? So every time I do something, I tell my children that life is a lot of hard work, but we need to learn to work smart. So I tell them that this was hard for me to do, but hey, I stretch myself to do it because it aligns with my values. I tell them all the time, It's just my way of planting seeds in them that, hey, it can be hard work. Sometimes life can be hard, but we can if we learn to stretch ourselves, and then indeed we can. So modeling, when you are not modeling to your children, I tell you, you will not be able to reach their hearts. And if you are not able to reach their heart, forget about it. It's only a matter of time. As soon as they are independent of you, they are going to find their path and they are good to go. One other thing that happens in church is too much expectations, judgments, too much expectations. What? I have never seen a people as judgmental as Christians. Jeez, we are in church, we are judging. You see people sit in church, they are gossiping. And we also take this to children, always judging them. The way they dress, the way they talk, the way they walk, the way things happen. We don't give any allowance. We are constantly judging them. And guess what? We give them too much expectations. And when they fall short, we are judging them. We expect them to be so unrealistic. Now this is why, like when I teach my children in church, like there are some topics I teach them, you actually wonder if I'm coming from the Christian perspective. Yes, I am. Like on Sunday, my pastor's wife told me that I have kata. I've had kata for a while. So he passed, I didn't perceive anything. Even when the boy also came to me, I was talking to him, he squatted in front of me. I didn't perceive anything. So I just thought that maybe because I have kata, that is why. So that boy had body odor. I called the boy and I had to start by, okay, how old are you? He told me he was 14. I said, 14. Can you describe the life of a typical 14-year-old? He was telling me, a vision, pass my exams. I said, no. As a 14-year-old, what are the characteristics? What are the things that happen in your life? He was still talking about going to school, passing exam. I had to break it down. Talking about puberty. I told him, what do you expect? I said, as you are 14, what are you experiencing? I know you are experiencing pubic hair growing in your armpits, hair growing in your penis areas, at 14. And I told him, you see those hairs growing, they lock in sweats. So if you don't bathe very well, what happens? You become smelling. You start having body odor. I didn't tell him he had body odor. They see me at least once in a while, call a member, a teenager in the church here, call them, talk to them. So nobody knows that I'm talking to them. So he wouldn't have, he would not feel embarrassed. He wasn't embarrassed. We were just laughing about it. So I told him, man, you smell like a he-goat, you pass. Fine boy like you, fine bobos like you, you pass. When you want to answer a question in class, they will say, sit down there, we talked about it. From there, I talked about hygiene, talk about his boxer. I told him, if I see your boxers now, you see that place your penis touches, and that place your fat comes out, it will be smelling like he-goat. He was telling me, no, auntie, no, I'm very neat. I said, nah, true. Let me come to your house and check now. We'll see that those places are just smelling, So these teenagers are actually human beings. We cannot just wrap them in bubbles. We cannot pretend that they don't go through life. You see a boy and a girl talking, and the next thing we feel, they don't have a right. We overreact to things that are normal, that are just expected. We give them high expectations, and most times they don't even have the skills. Give them high expectations. We expect them to deliver. Some pastors, they expect their children, because they are pastors, they want their children to show when they want their children to reflect that they actually pastors, they are raising their children well. The children will join choir, will join usher, will join X, will join Y. Children will always show forth, do things. Constant pressure on the child. When you pressure your child loses their authenticity. If you are just joining us, this is brought to you by the Visionary Parents Academy. Today we're talking about Pikin, wein, go swear. We're talking about now Pastor Pikin and the spoil pass, and we are using it to take our lessons, because Ezra, the pastor guy, actually inspired this. We've had it in mind for a while to actually do this video, but this what did I call it? Ezra guy. Imagine Ezra, named after a Bible book. Wow. That's how much Christians his parents are, or where. I don't know if they see his parents are. So back again. So Ezra actually inspired, not that he inspired, he made it he made it quicker for us to talk about. He actually also made us take a different turn, because I was just going to talk about Pikin when go spoil, and now we're actually talking about now Pastor Pikin, now in the spoil pass. So high expectations, too much high expectations. When you give your child too much high expectations, they lose their authenticity. You pressure them. Sometimes they are not mentally ready, they're not physically ready, they are not even ready knowledge-wise. Expectations. You expect them not to be human, because pastors' children, even parents that are not pastors, sometimes we expect our children not to be humans. We expect them not to do the things they do. We expect them not to make the mistakes they make. It is so much pressure. See, when you do not allow your child to make mistakes, you are pressuring your child. They are losing their authenticity. You are pressuring them. It is pressure when your child cannot make mistakes, because they are looking for ways to be perfect. And they are human beings. They cannot be perfect. It is impossible to be perfect. So you are pressuring them. They lose their authenticity. So by the time they grow older, they have a lot of vacuum. They have emptiness in them. They were not allowed to make mistakes. The mistakes they were not allowed to make, they are now making it. The authenticity they were not allowed to be, they are lost in it. They don't even know who they are. They cannot find themselves because they've been deep lost in it. You are pressuring them. That is what we do in most churches. We judge. When you judge a child, you are pressuring a child. When you don't allow them to make mistakes, you are pressuring them. We don't ask. Now, this is why today when I was coming back, I was telling myself, there's something within the Visionary Parent Academy that we have not really been consistent with. It is the pulse. I said to myself, next year, we are going to sing it every single day. Every single day. Now, if you are not in the Visionary Parent Academy, if you have not indicated interest or registered for next year, you need to do it quickly. You need to do it quickly, because the Visionary Parent Academy is an academy you definitely want to be. A lot for you to learn. A lot. I can't keep talking about it. We have book reading. We have everyday conversation. We meet every day. So every day you get to learn. You get to refresh, You get to renew your mind. Every single day you get to ask questions. I got a question yesterday. The parent was asking me what she should do. Her daughter, 12-year-old, said she was crushing on someone. Now, the daughter did not tell her that she was crushing on someone. The daughter actually was telling someone in her class that she was crushing on someone. And then I think the teacher walked in on them and heard. You know how some teachers can be? No skills, no knowledge. They will just escalate the matter. Think, oh, the child has done what Napoleon could not do. So I think the brother heard, and the brother shared with this woman, and this woman was upset. She said to me, she wrote she was shaking, and I was going to ask, you were shaking exactly why? Because I can imagine if she, thank God, according to her, she did not react dramatically. Because if she had reacted dramatically, I can imagine what that would have done to the child. Because when I made it, responded, the daughter is 12. She has not known anything about crushes. She has not told the daughter about crushes. And I'm like, really kidding me? A 12-year-old doesn't know about crushes. I don't know where that happens. Even my son that is 9 years now, from when he was 7, when he was 8, he already knew about crushes. He knew what they meant. He knew how to handle it. So these are things that will happen naturally. It's even worse now. I know some parents will say, but in our days, it didn't happen this early now. Maybe I was already in senior secondary school when I liked a boy, or I never even liked a boy until I was in university. Let me tell you something. In our days, we're not watching cartoons talking about love, boyfriend, kissing up and down. You seem to forget that 90% of the content children consume on TV, they are actually foreign content, predominantly American content. And in America, 10 years old, 11-year-olds, they can fall in love, they can date. Their parents may say, okay, oh, we have boundaries around them. Even if you are dating, maintain body boundaries. But they can date. They can allow to do things. You know, I'll call it courting. So if you are 15 years old, 16, 17, you never get boyfriend. You never can do with the boyfriend. The parents, research them. When you visit them, ask questions. And your children watch these things every day, they consume them. It forms something in their head. So you say, oh, but our time now, it was when I was in senior secondary school or I was in the university that I crushed on someone. So I was expecting for my child to grow older before I start teaching them these things. Keep waiting. Keep waiting. Because they are already not just learning, but over learning. So sometimes we don't even teach our children things. Because for very many parents, Christian parents, there are some things that are still super heavy for them to teach their children. Super heavy. And when it happens, you actually think, oh, nah. If you don't teach your children, the world will teach them. And guess what? I said that life generally is hard work, right? We stretch. You have to stretch yourself. But let me tell you, let me shock you. You see the way the world teaches them is not hard. The world teaches them in a way that is pleasurable, in a way that is easy, in a way that is fun, in a way that is addictive. That is how the world teaches them. You don't know that? Yeah. You don't know that. They are just reading one book, and the next thing they're introducing something before you know what is happening. I was watching a cartoon with my children, and the cartoon was talking about a guy. I think the boy stole from the bank just because to help his community, something like that, stealing from the bank. That means stealing. It was portraying that stealing was justified. That was a subtle message. As long as you are going to help people with it, steal. In a fun way, seed is being planted. In a very fun way, carrying bag, go to the village, throw money about. So I said, success, anything that will make your child successful, whether you want to fill them with information or anything, the real truth, the real matter is a lot of hard work. They have to stretch themselves. But guess what? When the world also wants them to do something, the world wants to indoctrinate them. It's not hard. They just wrap it up in a very beautiful package like a Christmas gift. So too much expectations. Even as parents, we don't have realistic expectations of our children. We don't realize there are things that are developmentally right. Now this is why that are developmental. They are just developmental issues. Your child is not misbehaving. It's just a matter of the age they are. Your child is not misbehaving. It's just a matter of where they are, the people around them, what they are learning, what is being modeled to them. Your child is not always misbehaving. It's a matter of, okay, their temperament comes to play. They are not always misbehaving. It's a matter of what they are hearing, what you may have reinforced, what you may have validated ignorantly. We don't always realize this. For us, the child is always misbehaving. High expectations, no allowance, no. Oh yes, you see Christian children, quote Genesis to Revelation. The heart, we are not reaching the heart. As a parent, if your expectations are too high, they are not realistic, then you are not reaching the heart of your child. And as long as you are not reaching the heart of your child, I tell you, it's only a matter of time before your child will find their way. Too much expectations and judgment. Jeez, judgment. When we see children, we judge them, we condemn them. In fact, we jail them in our mouth and we throw the key away already. A child doesn't greet you. Maybe they are tired. Maybe they forgot. Maybe they are just lost. Maybe they are even bothered by something that they are bothered. So because of that, they were not The next thing, oh, they are mannerless. How will this one turn out? We judge them. We just lock them up in the cell of our words and we throw the key away. Judgment. How do you think these children will feel? Nah. Church, because we set too much expectations, because we are always judging them, the church becomes hostile, or our homes as parents become hostile. Tell me, you all want to stand up against hostility now? When you cannot, you can manage, you pretend. We've seen cases where they will say, okay, oh, the people, maybe they are working under someone. For as long as the person is paying their fees and all of that, they are managing, or paying their salaries, they are managing. But when they become independent, let me give you a practical example. Let's not talk about this. I had an auntie, she's passed now. You know, when her daughter married, she was literally the breadwinner. She was literally footing the bills and taking care of every single thing about her daughter. But along the line, because her daughter was living close to her shop, so it was easy for her daughter to just come, take something and, go. Food stuff, everything. But along the line, her daughter moved a bit fast. Something happened, they couldn't live where they were living, they moved away to a different location. So once they moved away, the mom stopped, not that she stopped providing, but it was not like easy for the daughter to come there every day to collect things. Like before, she's just passing. Oh, I saw somebody selling garri, come and carry garri. She's just passing. These are yams I just got, buy. She can pass 10 times a day, and those 10 times a day, the mom will have something for her in the shop. So she was complacent, lazy. There was always food to eat. So when she now moved away, it was no longer like that. So it was not as if she got independence. Now the bond between the mother and the daughter got broken. That was how the daughter's true character showed up. My auntie, that is it. The church has become hostile, or if your home is hostile, then it's a matter of time. When your child, because they are just with you, because of what they can get, because of they are still dependent on you. But once they become independent, they have left you. Your words will no longer hold water. Will no longer hold water. They are not under your watch again. So you see this judgment. Now this is why I'll again encourage you. If you are not in the Visionary Parent Academy, please, you need to join us. What we do there is we'll create a system. In fact, the system we are creating next year, January, hopefully every member is going to be part of it, because we are going to spend the first month or even the first 2 months putting every single thing, every single day, taking notes, creating it one by one, practical structure that we will follow. It's not just something like, practical structure that everyone is going to have a family system. Carry your husband along, carry your wife along, carry your staff along, carry everyone around you along, so that at the end of the day, you have a strong family system. You have a consistent family system. You are in the picture. You are modeling. Your spouse is modeling. Everyone around you is modeling. You are consistent. You don't have too much high expectations, because the system is going to be customized. You are going to create your own system to meet your own parenting needs. It's why I was saying that first thing you are going to get when you join us is an exercise book. Not even small exercise book. You are going to get a long, that foolscap, that long note. That is what you are going to get. Because every day you are going to create notes, take your assignment for the day, and you are going to spend another 5 minutes attending to your assignment. It's not something overwhelming. Again, it's going to be hard work, because you need to stretch yourself a bit. Now, it's not something like it's super hard, but it's something that will require you to stretch yourself a bit. You learn to stretch yourself a bit. Okay. The last one I have here is no explanation. Because I said so. Even because God said so is not even an explanation. I tell you, because God, the Bible said so, is not an explanation. If you are a parent, you are hearing me now. I say because the Bible said so is not explanation enough. Let me write it down for myself. Now, because people have come to say, oh, the Bible is just a storybook. Your child will hear things like that. Or the Bible is just a storybook. And then you now want to say, because the Bible says so. The same Bible that people have come to say is a storybook. So you want them to run with because that same Bible said so. Make it make sense. Let's talk about it. Make it make sense. One of the things I teach my teenagers in church is that, even my children, I tell them that every single thing, the Bible was designed for your own good. There is nothing you do that will add to the person of God. There is nothing you will do that will make God no longer God. If you like do anything, God remains God. However, because God loves you dearly, every single thing he wants you to do, he has put in the Bible is for your own good. God is God because of you. You know, because of your good, because he loves you, he wants something good for you. That is why he is faithful. That is why there is the Bible. He inspired men to put the Bible together. I tell them that there was a case that happened recently. I was telling them, now imagine if this person had followed the Bible, followed the principles of the Bible. Do you think this particular person would have been in this mess the person is? The person wouldn't have been in the mess the person is. They had followed the Bible. You know? I will use Regina Daniel as an example also to tell them. If she had followed the Bible, she wouldn't have been a sixth wife to a man, a grandfather. If she had followed, because she wouldn't have been a sixth wife. She wouldn't have gone into smoking and drinking. She probably, all those days she was unhappy, she was depressed, she was crying out in her room. She wouldn't have had to go through that. Now her kids are with the man, and she may not get her kids, or probably till they are 18. If she knew God and she followed God, she definitely wouldn't have suffered what she suffered. She was lucky, or she's lucky. The matter has not ended. It has not reached the end. So we don't know what will happen at the end. Again, people every time making choices, mistakes that sabotage them, that are self-detrimental. If they know God, if they follow God, they will not make those mistakes. So when you teach your child, you want to explain why. It is super important your child understand the why of your expectations, the why behind your values, the why of what they are supposed to do. And if you have strong goals on telling your child why, come to the Visionary Parents Academy. It's an academy you need to be. We are going to empower you with skills. You are going to get knowledge, information, a lot of skills to parent the child you have. Parent with confidence, to raise a child the world will thank you for. Raise a child who will thank you in their old age. Your child will thank you. The world will thank you for the child you have given to, for the human being you've given them. Come and join the Visionary Parents Academy. I don't know how to market. I'm still learning how to market. So I'm not talking about it enough. I'm not telling you the way it's supposed to be. Because it's a vibrant community. It's a highly empowering community. It's a community that if you join, your parenting will be transformed. So I said, oh, because God said so, or because the Bible said so. It's not explanation enough. It's not an explanation for you to, because, like I said, they're not calling. I saw a post the other day, somebody said, oh, the same person that couldn't forgive a woman for eating an ordinary apple now wants me to forgive people the sins they have committed against me. Think about it. We think it's an ordinary joke. Nah, that joke will plant a seed in your child's heart, and that seed will grow. That is why we need to learn skills, skill up ourselves, so that we can raise children the world we thank us for. Skill up as a parent. You need to skill up yourself. And the Visionary Parents Academy offers you a platform to skill up yourself. I said because the Bible said so. I said because God said so. It's not explanation enough for your child. It's not an explanation. I tell you, we are talking about reaching the heart of the child. The same Bible that they have come to say is a storybook. Then you now say, oh, don't wear this, oh, don't do this because the Bible said so. If you have a child who has followed all these trends and everything, they are going to ask you, what is the difference between Shakespeare, Romeo and Juliet, and what the Bible? So if the Bible says so, I can as well do what Bill Gates has said or what Romeo and Juliet has said. You need skills. And the Visionary Parent Academy will offer you skills. We offer you knowledge. We just don't offer you knowledge based on knowledge. We offer you skills. Skills. The book I'm reading this month, Think for Yourself, I had to think for a change, said something that I think fools, something about knowledge being for the foolish. Knowledge is for the foolish. Because if you have knowledge, you don't apply it, then you are just foolish. It's as good as not having knowledge. But when you have knowledge, you apply it. That is what makes a difference. And the problem with a lot of people is, it's not as if they don't know what to do. It's not that they don't have the knowledge, they don't have the information, but they do not have the skills. Now, this is exactly what we do in the Visionary Parents Academy. We skill you up. You ask questions every day. You can choose. You are not bored. You don't bother anybody. You can choose to ask questions about your parenting every single day. You can choose to talk about your children every day. That is what we are for. I said to parents, anything you complain about, anything you yell about, anything you nag about, anything you smack about is a problem. Bring it to the academy. Let's find out, why did you react this way? Why did your child do this thing? Let's find out. Let's create a system for you in your home. So if you are not in the academy, you are missing a great deal. You can't be a parent and not be in the academy. Are you kidding me? You can't be a parent and not be in the academy. Because you will learn, you will unlearn, you will learn how to be proactive, you will learn how to parent with confidence, you will learn how to parent the child you have. So you cannot be a parent and not be in the academy. So please, registration is ongoing, and the registration for the early bird will close in the month of November. So by December, you are paying the normal fee. And what we charge is a peanut compared to what you get. Even if it's just the book, because when we recommend books, and the books, we get them for free, and we try so hard to recommend books we can easily get, we get them for free. I tell you, we are going to give you the book for free. We have master classes, we have challenges every single time. You don't pay extra for those challenges. You don't pay extra. This month we are raising problem solvers. We have one thing we do every day. Every single day, we do something that will help us nurture problem solving in our children. Every single day, we have a task to either give our children to carry out with our children, or to carry out ourselves in our parenting, to nurture problem solving skills, capacity in our children. And for outsiders, that cost is 15,000 naira. But for you, it's absolutely free. Free. All through the 12 months. So imagine if you are going to pay 15,000 naira every single month. Because really, so the Visionary Parents Academy, if you are not with us, I tell you, you can't be a parent and not be in the academy. The academy offers a lot. I can't keep talking about it. It offers a lot. A lot. You learn a lot in the academy. Okay, thank you for joining. Let me quickly recap what we learned today. If you are just joining me, what you want to do, so go back to the beginning of this video and watch it till the end, because it is highly empowering. And I'm very sure at the end of the day, you'll be able to realize this is actually why Pastor Pikin, na in the spoil pass. Pikin wein go spoil. We say that. And let me share this short story with you. I have a friend who is a counselor and a teens coach. She's always saying something that children just have a mind of their own. A subtle way of saying that Pikin wein go spoil. I always wonder, you that is a counselor, counseling things, you are telling the same parents that Pikin wein goes, as in teenagers have a mind of their own. So are you trying to say, so why are you counseling them? Why are they putting in the effort if they have a mind of their own? If at the end of the day, they will still do what they want to do. So why are you counseling them? Why should the parents bother? They shouldn't really bother. They shouldn't bother. because I don't believe that. Now here, and you know the funny thing, this particular counselor, she has children too, and her children went to a school that we call porous, very porous. It's a private school, a middle private school, but because of the population and everything, they just behave randomly, almost like public school. They have a kind of private school where a girl went naked, videoed herself dancing and sent to a boy. You can imagine how it is. Yes, she has 2 beautiful children, and none of them is caught up in the nonsense they do in that school. None of them is caught up. So if teenagers have a mind of their own, if Pikin wein go spoil. So why is your own, or why are your own not doing those same things? Why are your own not sports? Why are they not? Why don't they have a mind of their own? And I said to you, one of the reasons people believe these things is because when people even come for counseling, they don't divulge all information. They don't tell the counselors all the counselors need to know. I've seen that happen. Parents come to me, they have parenting struggles. They come to me. I'm asking, I want to understand your family dynamics, your family pattern. We need to create a system. We need to create a structure. You've paid for this consultation. It's not free, and I want you to get results. So we are going to start by creating a family system. So I'm asking questions about the family. What time do you go to work? What time do you come back? What time does your kid do this? What about your spouse? They are not answering. Some people, after paying for consultation, when I give them the form, they will not come back. I'm like, are you kidding me? If I don't have all this information, how are we going to trace the root cause? You have complaints. How do we trace the root cause? I mean, if we don't trace the root cause, how do we begin to proffer solutions? If we don't proffer solutions, how will you get what you need now? Why did you come now? It can be so frustrating. Sometimes I will have to follow up, call, send message, send message. Like, seriously. So they don't give full information to counselors. They hold some things about, because very many times parents want to sound good. They want to sound, I have done my best. The problem is with my child. Because they want to sound like that, at the end of the day, they will not tell you exactly what you need to be able to help them. So the counselor now makes recommendation based on the information the parent has shared. And of course, because the information is not the right information, it doesn't work. So we have the loop of Pikin wein go spoil. We have the loop of teenagers have a mind of their own. If you have struggles in parenting, one of the best things you can do for yourself is to be very, very open, very sincere. And I wonder, when you don't even know me, I don't know you, you may never see me and face to face, you are still holding information. I don't understand. Now, this is why when I have parents who open up, I am super happy. Yes, the parent reached me. It was even a free consultation. I thought I was crushing on someone. And she told me, and I asked her some basic questions. I didn't even ask her because it was a free consultation. It was not like the one I would sit down, I'll be creating a system and structure professionally for. No, it was just basic, So, because I already saw that for your daughter to act like this, it's one thing. She has not known about crush. Another thing, maybe there's an emptiness in her, So she doesn't know about crush. And she was open. She has not taught the girl about crush, and the girl is 12, good and fine. But some people, they will never own up because they want to look good. They want you to think, they have done everything. It's the child that is the problem. If you don't own up, if you don't explain everything, how will you get help? Anyways, so in the Visionary Parents Academy, we create systems, we create structures. We are going to create a system for your home that if you operate, if you run on that system, I tell you, your home will be transformed. Your parenting will be transformed. So what you want to do now is to leave a message and ask how you can join. Send a message on how you can join so that we can begin to work together in 2026. Thank you so much for joining. And I said I was going to recap, but time has gone. So what you should do now, go back to the beginning of this video, and I beg you, take your time. Take notes, watch, learn, and apply. Remember, knowledge is not power until it is applied. If you don't take action, your coming here is a waste of time. Have a fantastic day and wait for you to join us in the Visionary Parent Academy 2026 cohort. Bye-bye.